Oop. I believe I can. I believe such things are possible. Yeah, there we go. Nice. Everyone likes extra large minimap. If you don't, you're wrong.
Rest easy.
What's going on?
That was
What is this? See, I told you guys, these players have played with each other before. They're all familiar with one another, so it should be a fun one. They should have a pretty good understanding of what each team wants to do, and it'll just be a matter of seeing if you can execute on your own strategy. Gabby is going to be going for an Orb of Venom early on here. Do we have anything else interesting? March starting with some boots. Abed just going for the Bottle Rush. Cuckoo, not too much regen, but decent. And Zephyr does look like he's going to be going for a Null early on. So they have sacrificed some regen among these two supports to be able to have the boots and kind of the stat-heavy start on the Lina. We will just have to see how this works out. I think the plan is to try and get kind of an immediate first blood. And they do actually have all 5 heroes sitting on the top side of the map currently. I suppose these wards are going to kind of scout the lanes for them a little bit, but it seems like they're trying to get some particular matchups here and really wanting to put pressure on this Gabby anti-mage. So they are going to at least get the lanes that they want initially. It does seem like TNC, suspecting that this kind of thing might be happening, are just going to use their Chen to full effect. And that's always the problem when you're playing against this kind of Chen draft, where you can always sort of get the matchups that you want. You can't really win the musical lanes game against the Chen. And as you see, Gabby gets dragged bottom. If they TP after him, then he will just TP back to top. So the best that they can do here is to immediately kill KP, and then that will kind of fix the lanes a little bit more for TNC, and then they'll kind of be stuck where they are. We'll just have to see if they're capable of that. March is just body blocking the small camp for now. Mid lane, Armel. Okay, so he went for the Atrophy Aura at level 1, gets the Firestorm at level 2. And Lina is just going to TP as... What, March going for a pause? Mirana TPing top now. Yeah, okay. So it looks like they're just going to have to end up with the matchups that they don't really want. But I think they've realized that they can't make it happen any other way, really. So... just gonna have to be content with Cuckoo being in the safe lane instead, I suppose. This does give him some, additional farming opportunities and stuff like that. But Gabby, only 3 CS so far out of these first couple waves. It does seem like this Underlord pick mid is working out. Now we have actually started to see the sort of the mid hero pool getting a little bit less. I don't want to say like less interesting, but maybe a little bit less dynamic, a little less, maybe a little less flashy recently. We've been starting to see all this like Snapfire mid. Now we've got an Underlord mid. Team's just picking these really very stable heroes. And what is March doing? So it's just got the Janata so far. Still only level 1. I really just don't know about this position 5 bounty hunter. Again, it just feels like a liability. Sure, if your team's doing great, track is amazing. If your team's not doing anything, then the hero is just going to end up being a melee creep that can maybe snipe the occasional courier or something. And Whitemon picking up the hill troll. This isn't actually the. This isn't the mono one. This is just the. This is just a regular damage one. Big damage on Gabby. Very short blink away. I do not think they have a salve down here. So just relying on the Chen regen to get them back up. Armel already has his bottle at mid, so does Abed. So keep your eyes peeled for that 4-minute rotation. Position 4 is wanting to get involved. And March, all right, gonna block the stack, but didn't manage to block the small camp here at 2 minutes. And Tim's even gonna start getting a little bit of farm out of that big camp. And they seem to be sustaining just fine down bottom. They haven't even really mana burned down Cuckoo all that much. Whitemon does need to be somewhat careful with the positioning. How much damage does this creep actually do? It's not too bad. I don't know what its damage type is, though. And I don't know if you can actually check. So, Tim's kind of low, but he's got a salve. And there's no shuriken or anything. So, just pops it right in his face. 15-3 against the 18-6 at mid. We're about 20 seconds away, and almost to death on Gabby. Blinks away at the last moment. Whitemon also really low. So, you know, neither one of these heroes is going to be in any position to contest the rune. It does seem like Tim's and March kind of moving over in that direction. Armel looking to just spam out the wave. Abed maybe wanting to drag it in one direction or the other. Trying to figure out who's going to which rune. Armel does get a little bit ahead of him. You knowing this, it's going to end up spawning top. This is always the way. Both mids go for bottom, ends up spawning top, and Tim's will just snag the invis and scoot away. And Zephyr still plenty of mana. Cuckoo, just one mango in reserve. White mono together. Actually, so he intentionally went for the other Hill Troll Berserker here. Alright. Troll's farming fantastically. In Your Dream hasn't shown us just yet what the build is going to be this game. I can't imagine that he's going to be going for a Battle Fury, but it is always a possibility. There was a time not too long ago where Diffusal was just kind of always the go on this Troll Warlord. A little bit more damage being done to Gabby down here, but Zephyr gotta be careful. Gabby actually just blinking forward onto him. A couple more auto attacks might bring him down. They do have another stun though. A few more auto attacks. Gabby needs to make it into the trees. It looks like he's gonna be first blood. Zephyr with those 3 stacks of the Fiery Soul, just dishing out too much deeps, and still had the Fairy Fire in reserve if required. It does seem like they're gonna get both of these bottom side bounties, but by the same token, actually, well, TNC only gonna get the one. Tim's managed to snipe that one away from March in the end. So, 3 bounties for them. Armel gonna go get the refill. Can't get a neutral item just yet, unfortunately for him, but still gonna be pretty happy with that stack, though. I might have to switch it over to net worth sooner rather than later, because this is a somewhat inflated number at this point with that small camp. March, courier number 1, alright. Very nice. He's got this deep ward all the way back behind the lane, so it's only really giving courier vision for the moment. And heading over towards mid, too. Might be some kind of an opportunity there. Gotta be careful dropping the bottle on the ground when the bounty hunter is around, but it is gonna end up being fine. 6-minute rune about to spawn. March just doing a little bit of damage. He does have the tranquils and a salve, so able to trade pretty effectively here, and it will actually end up spawning bottom. Abed can be very happy with that arcane. AM still, you know, not a fantastic level of farm. I'm really curious what the item build is going to end up being for In Your Dream. And it does seem like, you know, KP's gotten decent levels up here at top. And still support's hanging around at mid. Tim's lobbing out some arrows. Nice little remnant from Abed, but not really amounting to too much. In Your Dream finds another route onto KP. He's in trouble. He does have the 1 point up in the Echo Stomp. Gonna try for it now. In Your Dream tries to jump backwards. March doesn't have an Orb of Venom or anything, so just gonna have to try and chase this one down, but it's not gonna be a kill. Stuns onto Gabby. Oop, counterspell not maybe working out the way that he was hoping there. Zephyr's been very on point with just nailing these stuns without any setup, which I think is kind of the problem for Gabby. He's mostly trying to read the Sand King's positioning to know when to pop the counterspell, but if he's not able to keep eyes on Zephyr, then he's going to take quite a lot of damage. March is stealing some experience. Is he going to cancel this clarity, or is he going to try and steal the big creep? Oh, he wants the big creep. Getting taxed. So kind of leaving the mid lane to Abed for the moment. So Armel is not going to be able to get any neutral items here because March is sitting on top of him. So kind of another cute consequence of playing like this. And Armel just going to be going for some phase. What do we got? Oh, nice little trusty shovel for Abed. Did he get... Oh, he got a salve. I was wondering if he got the immediate bounty, but no. I really thought that the anti-mage was going to do better against this this lane, but I suppose he can't really go and hit Cuckoo all that much. And he has gone for a point in the Caustic Finale. Burrow Strike not doing anything. And I do have some more zaps out of this Harpy. Gabby does have the Ring of Health now and his Ring of Regen, so more than fine to sustain, but I think he would be happier if he was just sitting free farming in a lane rather than all of this pressure mounting on him. March is on a full courier mission this game. What is this Observer Ward? This is like full courier hunting for the team. he doesn't really have too much else that he can accomplish at the moment. Maybe once Abed gets another couple of levels, he'll start moving around and making some more plays. But for the time being, seems like this is sort of the way to go. Zephyr is doing well enough that March might even be able to snag that initial tome. So that would definitely be very nice in terms of getting this game going. True, couldn't quite get the money out of Gabby there. Whitemon already level 5, so having a very nice start.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
But only 1 kill in 9 minutes. Not exactly a high octane game. We'll switch it over to some net worth for you guys. What is the item build going to be for this troll? All right, In Your Dream is going to be going for the Battle Fury. So feeling like his start is good enough and wanting to play a little bit of a farm war with the anti-mage perhaps. It does feel like greedier carries are somewhat back in vogue. Your Sven, your Spectre aren't necessarily going for the greediest item builds, but still definitely wanting this flash farm. And yeah, Armel actually just going for an Atos first here. Really looking for that lockdown against the Void Spirit, if at all possible. Ooh, alright. I mean, Armel's pretty tanky. I think they do need a +1. Abed should be all that they need to finish off this kill. The arrow was going for the bounty rune. Armel will actually be able to grab it. Great stomp from KP. They couldn't quite finish off the Underlord, and now trouble. Abed will be able to jump away. Still got some bottle sips. Needs to get that salve out of the backpack. They lose March elsewhere. Cuckoo Burr striking away, but Abed's not fully out. Going to try and dissimulate his way up onto the high ground, and that will get him out of there. But Underlord just a little bit too tanky. This full crown, the full bracer, the crown, every little bit of HP, and a beautiful stomp from KP to break everything up. Tim just immediately comes up, deals with the catapult push. Seems like TNC going to try for a bit of a catapult push of their own down bottom. KP is just straight rushing Ags this game on the ET. Alright, so definitely wanting to get in there. Do some DMG. We've not opted for any points in the Earth Splitter just yet.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
I've been making the rotation top. They do really want to find this trade. They have already sent the Sand King bottom to try and hang on a little bit longer. Great Remnant being used. March only just cracks the level 6 right as they get that kill. So not going to end up being a track, but Cuckoo actually doing a great job of holding on to the bottom tower. Not really getting pressured at all, and In Your Dream makes very quick work of the tower on the top side. So Among Us now going to have all of this space over in the Radiant jungle to keep on farming, but also they've opened up the top side of the map. TNC instead going to head mid, and they are making really good progress on this mid tower, but In Your Dream still comes in, kind of deals with it. March courier hunting. Can he get that last auto attack? Yes, he can. And he got Whitemons before, so what are we up to now? I think that's 3 for March thus far. I doubted the position 5 bounty hunter, but he's finding the impact for sure. And across the board, things just going reasonably well for Among Us. Bit of a net worth lead, bit of an experience lead. Though the win probability telling a little bit of a different story. Does seem to be favoring TNC and their kind of combination of high ground defense and late game. Though I think this game is going well enough for Among Us. This is so confusing. March is still tagged up as TNC. Whitemon and Whitemon and Zephyr are still tagged up as Geek Fam and Cuckoo. So we've got 3 Geek Fam, 5 TNC, but on 2 different teams. We've got an EG, and then In Your Dream is the only one not rocking anything. And Cuckoo has just rushed straight for the blink, so definitely looking for some action soon. Void Spirit, I think, realizing very nicely what's going on here with the Underlord. Not going to opt for the Yules. That's just going to set him up for another tick of the pit. Is actually going to be rushing a Force Staff instead. So a little bit of an unusual build. You do see this kind of thing with Puck against Ricky, and if it's a desperate situation, you just kind of need the item. March getting dusted up. I don't think he's getting out of here. Yeah. Locked down by the pit, and that's going to be the end of him. He is relatively tanky. Trying to run out. Can he make his way into the trees? Not the cleanest pathing in the world. And should be dead. Pops the salve. Wants to get the Shadow Walk off, but Gets his eyes pecked out by the Wild Wing Ripper, unfortunately. KP still holding on to mid. In Your Dream, still working towards his Battle Fury. And how is the Anti-Mage Battle Fury progress going? Not the best, but you know, it's going to have another damage component in a second. Alright. Abed getting juked a bit there. This bottom tier 1 tower is still very healthy, proving to be a big problem for TNC to actually get this. So Moonlight Shadow getting popped, some pings happening towards Abed, but not sure that they can really kill him. Maybe now that they've got the Atos picked up, that creates a little bit more of an opportunity. And In Your Dream still just chilling. He is AFK farming away. The follow-up item for Armel is just going to end up being a hood. Could imagine that we might see the full pipe relatively quickly here. March going to get dusted, but he does have teammates in the area. And even if he dies, double track would be pretty worth it. Cuckoo off the money there with the Burrow Strike, but looks like they are still going to get Whitemon anyway. I'm not sure that they needed that epi, but alright, they clear up the creeps, they get the track kill, and that was a 4-man, so some nice income coming in for them there. I wonder if, is Abed going to struggle with mana regen not having the Yules and now just going straight into the Ags? He does have the Arcane Ring to supplement him a little bit. Zephyr's got Arcane Boots for now, though those might become a lens a little bit further down the line. Though pretty good to hold on to them here, to be honest. Oh, March really wanted that bounty, but there's already a sentry down, so Tim's not going to let him have it. First strike onto Armel. Yeah, this is way too much lockdown for March to escape, so he's dead. Other bounties looking like maybe just a 2-2. Gabby kind of getting run at, but Among Us having the same sort of problems that TNC are having with the bottom tier 1 tower, with this mid tier 1 tower. And that is showing the strength of this kind of double offlane Underlord plus the Elder Titan. Cuckoo getting nailed by an arrow down here, just too much Firestorm damage. And that is the end of him. And with the Sand King dead, should finally be able to take out this tower. And they might even be able to defend mid at the same time. They've still got the Dark Rift, and they've still got some TPs. I think they need one hero in here to kind of stop the siege creep. KP's heading over. Like, if KP or Tim's comes over, like if they sniped this siege creep with the arrow, they could have maybe held, but instead just going to end up going for the trade. The Anti-Mage is about to get his Battle Fury, so they really want to open up the Radiant jungle for him to farm, if at all possible, so that he can just play between the triangle and the Radiant jungle. And you can see, as soon as they get that tower, kind of makes his way down here to start applying pressure here. So they're going to set up the map in the way that they want, which is, I would say, mostly the Elder Titan plus the Underlord shoving out mid and top and taking a little bit of farm in the Dire jungle, and Gabby just being protected by some wards down here at bottom and finding a bunch of farm that way. They are going to pop the Hand of God to try and save Armel, but I don't think that's going to work as he gets surrounded by 4. Arrow does connect onto Abed. KP can't really walk into that fight, though, against 5. And, well, Moonlight Shadow is going to get them out of there. But In Your Dream, having just picked up this Battle Fury, walked straight in to a triple Ancient stack. Could have maybe waited. If he'd waited like 5 seconds, could have guaranteed his team some more neutral items. But overall, probably not a big deal. Yeah, and so there's already a lens now for Zephyr, so there's no more Arcane Boots. So I do think it's a little tricky. Actually, is it a problem for Abed? I didn't notice that he had the jelly as well. So the one game where he's not going to buy Yules because he needs the Force Staff, and he gets an Arcane Ring and Royal Jelly. So this is maybe not the best case study for can you get away with not buying Yules on the Void Spirit. Though it does need to be remembered that the active on Yules is pretty expensive, so it kind of negates a good chunk of the mana regen that you're getting for it if you're using the active a lot. Anyway, TNC, they've also got their Battle Fury on the Anti-Mage, so Gabby's game looking alright. March, once again, throws out a track, does get caught out a little bit. Just looking for the quick kill. Abed pokes his nose in, but the team is not really here looking for anything. Zephyr just wanting to hold on to the tower. In Your Dream looking for his next item. And still just a very kind of methodical game. They do have the mech up on Whitemon, so TNC starting to look kind of scary when it comes to these upcoming team fights. They're going to have the full pipe on the Underlord and the mech on the Chen, so a ton of sustain coming in there. And Among Us again, I'm going to come back to harp on the bounty hunter a little bit. They've only got so much damage. The Void Spirit, sure, he's going to do a decent amount. The Troll is really the only sustained source. And it feels like every other hero is just going to be completely negated by the mech plus pipe, assuming that they get them off, right? There is always the possibility that Chen gets jumped and then he mechs just for himself or something, but I do think they're going to have some damage issues a little bit further down the line, and that's kind of part of the late game problem as well. If they were getting some more track kills and they were further ahead, I don't think it would be too worrying, but I do kind of have to think about it. Anyway, Among Us heading into the Roshan pit, forcing this somewhat. Does seem like TNC kind of aware of what's going on here. They see the sandstorm. They know that this is happening, and both teams throwing out some scans. Arrow does actually end up connecting on In Your Dream, but I don't think they can do anything about him. Gabby's still just playing his way over in the Radiant jungle. He's managed to get his hands on a Vambrace. We'll do a quick little neutral item check for both sides. We've got an unused Dragon Scale on the side of TNC. I'm a little bit surprised at that. Is KP maybe grabbing it with the courier? Is that the... What's going on here? KP, my man, you need a neutral item. Anyway, over on the other side, we have a Grove Bow going begging, unfortunately. Lena's just rocking the Arcane Ring currently. Well, they checked out Roche, but kind of decided against it. Haven't really been able to find too many ganks. Again, the track kill's not really activating anywhere. There's a lot of Force Staffs in this game. March is going for one. Tim's already has one. Zephyr's going for one. Everyone wanting to deal with the lockdown from the other team. And how is that Ags going? I feel like that has to be the timing for Among Us here. It's going to be a huge power spike for Abed. He'll be able to put a ton of pressure on the back lines, and I think he'll even have it for a couple of minutes before the Anti-Mage gets the Manta online, so gives them a little bit more of an opportunity to maybe catch him or find a kill. Ito's fishing, but not really going to amount to anything. Okay, so In Your Dream is also kind of making it sort of clear what the plan is here for Among Us. He doesn't want to fight before he gets the full BKB because he's bought the Mithril Hammer instead of the Ogre Axe. But definitely looking like BKB plus Ags is going to be the timing that they're really looking for. TNC are just doing a great job, and this is one of the huge things about Underlord as a hero, is that mid lane is constantly shoved in, and all of this space is down here for Anti-Mage on the bottom side. So it's very difficult for Among Us to just cross the river and make anything happen that way. I suppose the other reason that In Your Dream goes with the damage item over the Ogre Axe here is that he's anticipating that he's going to be able to grab the Aegis, but I'm not sure that that's going to be the case. Armel in the front lines just holding everybody back. Decent damage onto In Your Dream, and they haven't finished the Roche just yet. It's actually still reasonably healthy. So In Your Dream forced to back up. Gabby's in the neighborhood, just keeping an eye on things. If he sees a low Mana Void Spirit, you have to imagine that he's going to come in and look for the big Mana Void. KP does not have the Ags just yet. In Your Dream poking, prodding. Why are there 3 Wild Wings? I think Cuckoo's probably wondering the same thing. Where are these tornadoes actually? Oh, they're all on Roche. Okay, did they... So this debuff doesn't stack, but I guess the damage does? Is he even going down? He's going down slowly. I don't think they have much channel time left on these Wild Wings. But it looks like the plan here is just to never let Cuckoo get a blink off on this Sand King. It's kind of a cute strategy from Whitemon. We'll just have to see if it works. There are plenty of random things to kind of cancel a blink this game from Cuckoo, which is annoying. And Tim's also thinking about, well, wait, he can't pick up the Aegis with the courier, so I think this is just for some scouting. Oh, do they know that it's there? They're kind of pinging it. Yeah, they've seen it. Okay. Can they do anything about it? Change places. Cuckoo, you go up here and give me the vision. I'll kill the courier. They got it. March getting caught out once again here at mid. They do have a Force Staff to get him out, and he's got another Force Staff for himself, so he's going to be just fine. Aaron not going to connect, and Tim's walking a little bit too far forward. Great double stun. Armel also going to take some damage to start this fight off. Gabby's not even here, so it's not really a fight They are going to end up popping that illusion rune. Haven't popped the Dark Rift just yet. A little bit too late here for Armel. Looks like he's just going to get shredded down by the Troll Warlord. Gabby does come over to the fight now, but it's just to get burrow struck up. And great chain stun follow-up from Zephyr. That's the last of his mana, but that's all that he needs. Abed with a great timing on that last silence. Man, AM feeling confident having the Manta there, but Gabby just kind of ends up going down for free. 3 for nothing in favor of Among Us, and now finally they'll be able to head into the Roshan pit and clean that up. Oh man, that was extremely sloppy. Like, from Tim's, just I don't know if he didn't have his eyes on his hero because he was looking at March over here and trying to land the arrow, but he walked straight into a stun, and then Armel doesn't get the Dark Rift off, so he dies. I really don't know what was going on there. Okay, so KP did end up grabbing the Dragon Scale for anyone who was wondering about that. March is just going Vlad's. In Your Dream now has the BKB and he's got the Aegis, so he's going to be very happy with that. Abed going for a Deso next, and does seem like Among Us really starting to hit their stride a little bit, and Dota Plus agrees. That graph is swinging right back.
Dire's structures are fortified.
I haven't seen the full teamfight capability of Geek Fam, really, it feels like, but I think the one thing that we are starting to see is that they don't actually have the most solid lockdown in the world. Like, their setup is mostly Atos into Arrow, or like Atos, Pit kind of a thing. And that's where I want to say, is it triple Force Staff now? Yeah, the triple Force Staff on the side of Among Us has actually just been the perfect answer. Anyone getting slept, if they're looking for a sleep into an Arrow combo or an Atos into Arrow combo, there are just way too many ways to save at this point. Gabby is going to come and snipe a little bounty rune here. Actually, I'm surprised that there are still so many 25-minute bounties on the map. As March just keeping tabs on Armel over here. Gabby is going back for a Halberd. Alright, so feeling like he really needs that against the Troll Warlord, I suppose.
Radiant's top tower
I do feel that they really need the Abyssal Blade on the AM, but maybe we'll be able to get it for a little bit. Alright, that's silence number 1. He uses the Manta. Here comes the follow-up silence. They've actually got the Clumsy Net as well on Abed, so a little bit more lockdown. Force step forward into the Burrow Strike. Great chain lockdown from Among Us. I don't think they don't even have a ward or anything here, right? They just kind of, I guess they knew that Gabby was trying to play around here, and well, another disappointing death for this anti-mage, who is supposed to be the big hope for TNC this game. Everything else that they're doing is kind of in service of the AM, but it does not appear to be working. KP does have his Ags, so he's got the spell immunity now. Going to be going for a Mask of Madness after that. Maybe he can be the big damage source.
Radiant
The Ags just feels a little unreliable a lot of the time to me, and Scan does connect, so Abed is straight in on top of KP, a little bit of lockdown. Zephyr looking for the follow-up, huge cast range on this Lina, and yeah, that magic immunity not going to help him there at all. March did end up dying elsewhere on the map, so it does finally get caught out for all the shenanigans. But
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
now an 11k lead, and TNC, this is maybe where the having Armel on something like an Underlord comes back to bite them a little bit. It didn't really annihilate the lane or anything. I think it's still doing its job, but in this game the Underlord just kind of feels like sort of a mediocre puck, I suppose. Like, he's just shoving waves, kind of avoiding death, but he's the fattest puck you've ever seen. He's not nearly as nimble, and mostly just relying on hiding in the trees. And meanwhile, Abed doing just fine and just making plays everywhere, applying a ton of pressure. Not going to be going... Actually, he does have the full Deso, and now he's going to be going back for... Well, going forward into an AC after that. Finds himself a little enchanted quiver. How much longer do they have in this Aegis? About 1 minute, so... I don't think they're going to go high ground with this Aegis. They've taken all the outer towers. They've started to constrict the map pretty nicely. They've planted wards that aren't too aggressive, so I think they're a little bit less likely to be dewarded. You look here, and TNC Anytime you leave this high ground, they're going to come in here and try and clear out these spots immediately. So you plant this ward all the way back, and maybe you can keep that around even when you're not actually actively playing on that high ground.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Well, Gabby trying to push out bottom, but a glyph gets popped, I think, just to stop him from dealing with that wave. Are they trying to... Do they need this wave to try and go high ground? I don't think they really want to. They still got items to finish. Actually, the MKB is already completed, so that's coming out to the Troll Warlord right this second. What even is... Yeah, In Your Dream score is very just... 101, 342 creeps. He's having a grand old time, but... very much just the insurance policy for the team this game. As we have gotten into our next round of neutral items, Zephyr is going back for an Ags here. So we'll be eyeing that Spell Amp talent a little bit further down the line, though I don't know if we're even going to get to that point this game necessarily. I like that they're buying all of kind of the complementary items for the Troll. You know, getting the Vlads for him, they're getting the AC as well, so kind of everything to beef him up. The only thing we don't really have is a Solar Crest or anything, but not sure that that's really necessary for them here. Do they have any vision in this area? They're just kind of clearing out and running in very aggressively. In Your Dream still has this Senzek and BKB. And again, with between the BKB and the 4 stabs, it should be very, very difficult for anyone to die without getting spells off. Cuckoo does actually end up finding KP in the backline. The Spirit comes back to him, so he gets the magic immunity, gets brought out of the Yules. It's not going to last for too much longer, however. Bit of control onto In Your Dream. We do actually have a... Oh, it's Gabby that's getting caught out elsewhere. I heard the Laguna Blade, but did not see the kill, and now they can just keep on going. Armel can't even get his hands up to get off the Dark Rift. There's too much lockdown, too much damage. March is dead elsewhere. Tim's hitting him with the solo kill, but still. 2 huge pickoffs for Among Us. At least they've still got the Elder Titan to maybe defend, but holding high ground is going to be kind of tricky here. They don't have Glyph at the moment either.
Not quite as slow now.
At least there's no BKB on the Troll, I suppose. Already does get slept. It's kind of all they've got to do to deal with this creep wave, though. They really need to arrow this siege creep if at all possible. Abed doesn't want to let Tims have it. KP magic immune for a moment, but siege creep's still going. In Your Dream up in their face. He's actually got the Paladin Sword as well. Cuckoo finds the jump, looking for the lockdown onto Tims. They do have good heals. The 4 staff gets him out of there. He's going to be alright. KP just kind of looking to commit. Looks like he wants to kill onto Zephyr. Arrow not going to connect. It actually ends up finding Abed. Can they do some more damage to him? Burst strike through from Cuckoo, just a little short. And they get the tier 3, and as these 2 big heroes start to respawn, it looks like Among Us are just going to take their leave. Roshan could respawn in about 30 seconds. There are 2 bounties over here as well to grab, so a few different things across the map to get their hands on. But now a 16k lead in favor of mine. They really even... They only have 11 kills. They didn't have to play a super ganky game here, but it seems like just kind of the slow, constant pressure, all the farm on the Troll Warlord has really worked out. I think it could be a very different situation if the AM didn't have a couple of these deaths. I think he would be much closer to the Troll in terms of net worth, and this game might feel a little bit more even, but kind of this death plus this death plus this death are all starting to add up for Gabby. And when you're on a hero like Anti-Mage that farms as fast as he does, every single one of those deaths matters so much. This is even taxing him at the moment. What's going on here? I guess he does almost have a full Solar Crest, so you can make the argument that he's buying the item for the Anti-Mage more than anything. And now we've got Basher and Injured. Man, this Troll Warlord is huge. And, you know, Abed's also pretty sizable. Has decided against the AC in the end. Now just going to be going for the Lincolns. Gabby will finally get this bottom tier 2 that he's been eyeing up for the last little while. And what do we got? Nobody's using the Greater Fairy Fire. Cuckoo, unfortunately, the one sitting on the telescope at the moment. Man, Zephyr is still rocking this Arcane Ring. I guess they really need that little bit of extra mana across the team. Oh, now he's got the Now he's got the Ags. That is going to hurt. And he's level 18. This is a huge amount of damage. And who's in trouble? It's actually Armel getting caught out. Once again, Silence. Great arrow is going to catch. And you're leaving KP with the damage. It's just too much. They'd already used the Force Staff on both Abed and March, so they couldn't get him out of there. And TNC finding a huge opportunity. Oh my god, this Elder Titan. So he's got Mask of Madness and he's got the Enchanted Quiver, so he just so hard. March, can they get him out of there? That Force Staff is going to help. Arrow a little bit off the money. Cuckoo waiting up here on the high ground, but with no troll, they really can't take a fight. I think they might just have to let March go. KP walking forward. Among Us trying to team play their way out of this. Fortunately for them, Roshan is still down for another minute, so TNC are not going to end up getting that one for free. But it does go to show that, well, I guess these kills can still happen, but it has to be pretty exceptional circumstances, like the troll catching that arrow with no Force Staffs off cooldown to save him. Might have to just be a little bit more proactive with the BKB in these upcoming team fights. Armel getting tracked. Do have a dust on KP. Looking for Cuckoo, but just a quick little blink away from him as they try and claim all of this space around the pit. Do they have any Observer Wards spare? Unfortunately, they do not. Maybe there's some coming out on the Courier. No, seems like they've pretty much invested everything that they have. So might just have to be some Chen creep scouting on this high ground for now. They do have a Chen creep inside of the pit, keeping tabs on things there, though of course there is the track providing some vision for Among Us to know what's going on. And Abed does go and push out the bottom side of the map here and go and snipe a couple of bounties. So. But that net worth lead getting cut down very significantly. Gabby, haven't even checked on his item progression a little bit. He's got the BKB now, and he's got the Basher, and he's got another 2.5k towards the Abyssal Blade. He's tracked and walking away from his team, though, so they're just going to go straight in here on Among Us. Tims actually does manage to escape. Nice use of the Force Staff. KP looking like he might not be quite so lucky. Does have a little bit of magic immunity to work with. They're going to drop the Laguna Blade. Zephyr now Force Staffing himself out of there. 2 dead so far. Abed looking for a little more. Armel does manage to get the Dark Rift off this time around and just has to run for dear life away from the Troll Warlord. Gabby straight down the mid lane, trying to deal with this and put on a little bit of pressure, but unfortunately for them, the timing of those deaths lining up right as Roshan respawns, and they're going to no longer have that opportunity to do the same thing that they just did to In Your Dream, as he'll be picking up the Aegis here in a moment, and yeah, nothing that they can really do to stop that. Who's got current gold? Who's got money to spend? AM's got some. Armel's got some, and even Tims, he finished up that Solar Crest not too long ago, and he's actually still made pretty good progress towards an E-Blade after that. And he does have more net worth than KP at this point, so we can maybe call him the 3. But AM not going to be saving for buyback. I think I'm on the same frequency as him that he desperately needs this Abyssal Blade. They really need that little bit of additional lockdown to, you know, try and find the kill on the Void Spirit or the Lina or something to start the fight. Cuckoo's not going to be such an easy target. He's picked up an Aeon Disc. And with that little bit of extra security, they are also going to entrust him with the gem. Just checking things out a little bit around here. It's just, I mean, oh, there is an Observer Ward in here. There's an Obs and a Sentry. Wait, did he not actually see on the high ground? Yeah, Zephyr's like, wait a second. What's going on here? So he's going to get the quick D ward. Abed, even with all that time spent having the Lincolns queued up, I guess the cheese maybe making him feel a little bit more confident. So it does just end up grabbing the full AC. And we're looking for neutral items now. What do we got? Troll Warlord grabbing the Ninja Gear. He's looking for an Abyssal Blade of his own. AIM's Abyssal is completed. In terms of vision, he doesn't really have a whole lot of information on the map currently. But he does see that the Troll and the... this is a pretty nice ward that's just about to fade. Also sees that Abed is just kind of lurking around on that right-hand side. So feels confident enough to come over and deal with the mid-wave. Already forced into using the Manta just to deal with the track. Cuckoo, a little bit of dewarding going on. Armel's also got a BKB. Alright. Yeah, all they have to make sure is that nobody gets arrowed. Because if somebody gets arrowed, I think they're just going to get whomped by Anti-Mage and the Elder Titan. You look at KP, and he's got a Blink Dagger queued up. He knows exactly what he wants to do here. It's just somebody gets locked down, and there aren't enough Force Staffs to get them out of there. He's going to go blinking in and try and two-shot somebody. Bring the aura along with the Anti-Mage, I suppose, is the plan. And again, just kind of stabilized for the moment. Gabby gonna get dragged back to base into an immediate smoke. So they've created a little bit of an opportunity on the map. They've pushed out top, so they know that someone's gonna have to go and deal with that. They get the immediate Abyssal out on mid, but there's that Aeon Disc, so that's gonna get Cuckoo out of there. He's okay. They put that on cooldown, and TNC immediately retreat up onto their high ground. Gonna make sure that there's no wards up here, and just try and stay behind their Anti-Mage for the time being. Nothing big really being expended. In your dream walking forward, he's still got the Aegis for another minute and 45 seconds. And they need to do a little bit of dewarding on this contested high ground as well. Gabby can't decide if he wants to go and push the wave or if he's going to take this fight with his team. Armel getting gone on. They don't have the disc this time around for the Sand King, but he does manage to avoid the arrow. Cuckoo surviving. March just walks into the middle of everything. Still living, though, in your dream, walking forward, kind of getting kited for now. KP's just going to go chasing after March. One more punch will do him in. And Abed up here on the high ground needs to touch out of the way of that arrow and only just barely makes it. Troll Warlord losing some mana to these Anti-Mage illusions. Doesn't want to pop the BKB on the first life, but I don't think they're going to let him just walk away here. Tim's maybe trying to anticipate a Force Staff with the arrow, but instead, In Your Dream just walks it out. I don't know if Abed could... I don't think he could see that Tim's was there, but maybe wanted to save the Force Staff until he saw an actual disable land. Well, a lot of excitement, but only the one kill. BKB getting popped on the Anti-Mage. Still 10-second BKB on Armel. And Aegis is going to get reclaimed shortly. I'm honestly a little bit surprised that Among Us didn't try and take that fight, but I think Sand King was just kind of in a bad spot. They really need the Sand King's initiation to start the fights. And I've been harping on and on about how unreliable TNC's initiation is this entire time, but I think it also is worth pointing out that, you know, Among Us don't have crazy hard lockdown either. So also kind of needing the Abyssal Blade and, you know, really needing to get the chain stun going appropriately. I don't think there are quite as many Force Staffs on TNC though. No, there's only the one on the side of Tim. So whoever gets locked down is going to be, you know, locked down for a little while. And TNC, what do they see? Armel leading the way. In Your Dream. Oh, arrow just a little bit off the money, so he will be able to get the BKB. Pops the Abyssal Blade here, wants that first kill. He uses the Battle Trance, but that drags him over onto Gabby. Tim's is actually still surviving. In Your Dream, getting dragged away from his team. KP looking to turn around on him now, and they've got the Abyssal Blade from the Anti-Mage. He's too far away from his team. They spent all of that time trying to kill off Tim's, but he is more than happy with that trade. And now KP's not done. He's looking for a little more. Among Us having to scatter, they just don't have the damage anymore with the Troll Warlord dead. And Gabby comes jumping forward. KP's got a blink off cooldown in a couple of seconds, and I think Among Us just have to fully retreat. Try and spam this high ground, but TNC already in a great position to keep this push going. And Gabby wanting to actually go down bottom and push that one out. He's got the leveler as well, so if they make their way up onto the high ground, in a pretty good spot. They're trying to do damage to Armel, but he's just too damn tanky. Cuckoo doesn't have the disc once again. He does have the flicker, so that's going to help him get out of here, but still 60 seconds to go on the Troll Warlord and no glyph for 36 seconds. Cuckoo, Burst Strike, just kind of poking, prodding. Going to drop the Laguna Blade. Can they actually focus down Gabby? The silencers are decent, but he gets saved by the Manta Style. Abed now getting locked down, pops the cheese preemptively, waiting for these disables. Zephyr still doing the damage. Armel pops the BKB, but way too late. And now Geek Fam, Whitemon trying to escape. It's a pretty long TP, but he does get out of there. Oh man, that was close on the Anti-Mage. I think Abed was just a tiny bit too fast on the second pulse, and then Gabby managed to get the Manta off and get out of there. So, pretty stressful situation. He is #1 on the net worth now. I guess we just have to wait for next Roche. This game continues. It's still a net worth lead in favor of Among Us, but Dota Plus has been swayed. It's seen the strength of this Anti-Mage and the Elder Titan heading into the late game, and it's really starting to bleed. I don't know if In Your Dream needed to pop Battle Trance there. I think that was maybe the critical blunder, was that he just popped Battle Trance and then they just went whoop and just dragged him straight away from the fight. Among Us seemingly could not get past the Mirana.
Dire's middle
They
barracks
go up onto the high ground. They've still got their gem. There's no vision outside of the base for TNC, so they can't see the backlines currently.
Dire's
We do have a little bit of
structures are
information on Tim's, but everyone else is currently hidden from the side of TNC. They want their Underlord back up. They have already used the glyph. Looks like we'll just have to sacrifice the one lane of Rax. Not worth it to buy back in this situation. You know that Roshan is really the next big objective. Whoever claims the next Rosh is really going to be the one looking to claim this game. So, okay, 25-second Roshan respawn. Pretty quick. Oh, of course it's a double damage. It's always a double damage. They bottle it up. TNC, how many observer wards you got? Oh man, they've got Timeless Relic on the Mirana as well. They got pretty lucky with their tier 4 items, in fact. Yeah, Spell Prism on the Underlord, Timeless Relic on the Mirana. And yeah, look, the Leveler on the Anti-Mage. Pretty darn good. Alright, Sand King Courier, scouting the pit. Cuckoo, waiting up here in the high ground. We're going to switch it over to buyback status so we can keep an eye on what's going on there. Seems like TNC looking for the backstab, coming up the unexpected high ground. Abed about to break this. They spot Armel, they put the ward up. Just trying to get any kind of information that they can. Abed looking to close off the ramp. And it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 buybacks available currently. Gabby queuing up a rapier at this point. Okay. All right, that's something. I guess you don't really want like a butterfly. Trolls already got MKB. I suppose AC not really gonna be a big thing either. Oh, Courier dies. Okay, they know that Roshan's respawned, but they've got this double damage on the Troll Warlord. So In Your Dream is actually just gonna shred this. There's an Aegis Cheese and an Aghanim's Blessing waiting. Looking like Sand King maybe getting set up to grab that one. Cuckoo, alright, just waiting for his opportunity. Now he's got the Ags and TNC. What does the plan have to be? I suppose just try and wait out the Aegis if at all possible. This is scary times for Gabby. I'm going to show you what his vision looks like at the moment. He knows that they were probably all just at the pit, so he feels safe going for that first wave, but this next one is very stressful. Okay, not going to end up going for the Rapier. It does just queue up a Nullifier instead. What is the Nullifier even good for here? Because it doesn't mute items anymore, right? It's just a continuous dispel. So there aren't even really any Ghost Scepters. I guess it's good against the Aeon Disc and the Yules. So it is going to be annoying for the Sand King, but and there is a Ghost Scepter on the Lena now as well. Maybe it makes sense from that perspective. Burst Strike, they've caught out Armel. Does have the BKB, gonna pop it nice and early this time around, but he still gets Abyssal Blade to TNC, wondering what they can do to help him out. They do still have the Hand of God, but it's barely a drop in the bucket when it comes to healing up that Underlord. Gabby trying to deal with top wave. Mid's already getting shoved in. Bottom, I think, also in a decent position. They're gonna pop the glyph just to keep these double catapults alive and get the wave pushing in up onto the high ground. We do have a TP on Gabby, so he can come back and join this fight. Tim's, can he nail an arrow? He's got the E-Blade. Just kind of fishing a little bit. Here comes the buyback. Tier 3 already dead. Gabby just pushing this top wave all the way out, but he's not in a position to threaten any buildings, so he's going to have to come back and defend with his team. And we'll just have to see what TNC can find. And they're going double Nullifier. Is it that good here? Oh, I guess you... I've completely forgotten. Of course you can't... Well, you kind of can, but not really. You can't force that people that are nullified, so... That is going to be a pretty big deal in terms of keeping their lockdown going. And hopefully landing, you know, that one clutch arrow or something that they need. Okay, Anti-Mage buys the Nullifier. He's still got buyback. He is, I mean, he's not completely done farming. He can still buy a Moonshard and stuff, but I would say for the most part, Gabby is done at this stage. He does not have any boots currently. Just going to be relying on that blink cooldown and blink range to get himself around. $27K lead now. I mean, it doesn't necessarily feel like that. Arrow gonna catch onto In Your Dream. Is that life number 1? KP jumping in, looks for the hit, but doesn't land. Can't quite finish him off. So they've given KP the Spell Prism now. Armel's got the Timeless Relic, and Tim's just sitting on the Magic Lamp. Alright. Hey, did I just... I thought I heard a smoke, but I guess it was just
Radiant are
Ninja
scanning.
Gear? Yeah, just Ninja Gear. Alright. Gabby, he's thinking about it. He's like, I really want to push this wave, but I don't see anything. Alright, jumps in now. This is scary. Radiant Heroes inbound. Cuckoo's looking for him. They don't have the vision currently. But they know that he's going to try for this next wave. Well, at least that's what's happening in their heads. I'm not so sure that Gabby is going to go for another one. Oh, this seems a little crazy. Oh, Cuckoo shows first. He was thinking about it. You saw that blink animation going, but... I almost wonder if Among Us were trying to bait him a little bit. I think they intentionally showed the Troll Warlord at bottom because they thought, oh, okay, Anti-Mage is still top. So if we show Troll at bottom, then maybe Anti-Mage will go on this wave at top and we can do something about him there. But instead, just going to be another round of bounty runes. I did not think we were going to get to this point this game, the way that things were looking in the mid game, but TNC have really rallied as Gabby has continued to just get more and more farm. About even with the net worth on the Troll here, but Troll is sitting on 9K gold. In Your Dream is really having some itemization issues currently, and who knows, we might even get to the tier 5 neutral items this game, as the Aegis does get reclaimed. Doesn't really seem like either team is all that keen on making any big plays. Troll just going pretty defensive, has the Satanic now. He's also pretty much slotted at this stage. I don't know if you would consider getting rid of the Battle Fury for a different item. Abed has got the full Daedalus, so he's looking pretty big. He's got the 160 crit on the Astral Step as well. So he's actually, I think they need this. As good as the Dissimulate Stun is, I think they actually need some supplementary damage, because as we've seen, as soon as In Your Dream dies, any hope of like winning a team fight just kind of goes out the window. So if they have that little bit of supplementary damage, maybe they can make it work. We got a Hex on Cuckoo. Everywhere you look, people are just getting huge. Zephyr is going for a refresher. So if one Laguna Blade with 900 pure damage was not enough, maybe 2 Laguna Blades for 1800 pure damage is going to do it. What's our Mel got? He went for the extra Pit of Malice roots. Very tanky. And the Atrophy War is such a pain in the late game. At least Troll has not itemized. He's pretty much itemized like all plus damage, right? He hasn't really itemized stats, so it's not going to be as much of a concern. He's only got 181 white damage, but... Seems like we're just not really doing anything. I think we're just chilling. I keep hearing smoke, but I'm just being baited. It's just the Ninja Gear getting popped. So I think until such time as they are forced to fight one another for the Roshan, which could be in a minute, we might be chilling. So good time to kick back. I would have a sip of water if I hadn't poured that glass of water all over my entire desk before casting started. And TNC just reclaiming their tri-camp area currently. It's about the extent of it. Okay, we do have a smoke. Exciting times here for Among Us. What do they see? They're pinging on this next creep wave. But the Moonlight Shadow, it's just Tim scouting forward. He's going to get jumped and brought down immediately. Couldn't get anything off. He does have a buyback. Everybody is sitting on buyback money currently. There's only 2 heroes short Cuckoo was only just shy, but he does pick up a Lincoln's now. In Your Dream on the front lines. Doesn't have to worry about getting arrowed this time around. Pops the BKB. Pops the Battle Trance as well. Just getting dragged away by Armel. Can't let the same thing happen again. Trouble in the back lines. Abed almost going down, but he's still actually got the cheese. Heads over to the Secret Shop to pop that. They need to save their Troll Warlord, but they can't do it. Gabby jumping into the back lines, creating too much of a distraction. Cuckoo tries to bail him out. They desperately have to kill this anti-mage, but I don't think they can do it. They pop the Dark Rift, and they get out of there. They did use the buyback on Tim's, but I don't think that's really going to be too much of a problem. And now Among Us desperately have to get these lanes out. And Roshan is actually already respawned. So we have the fully loaded Rosh ready to be claimed. TNC, I don't think they're aware of this just yet. This is quite an early respawn. KP's gone for the cleave. He's aiming for 6 slot at this game. He's got a little ways to go, but you know, starting from the bottom. And what is the play here for TNC? It's got to be taking Rosh. There's absolutely no way that you do not take the Rosh on here. I don't even, did Troll even get to press Satanic? It feels like he just pressed BKB and Battle Trance on the Underlord and then just got dragged on a merry little trail into the Radiant base. Alright, who's getting what here? What are we in, like a Underlord Ags kind of a situation? Oh wait, what just that? Cuckoo got the... Oh, Cuckoo actually managed to snipe the Ags and the cheese. I didn't even catch that. I didn't even see that his courier was there. Alright, that's pretty nice. So they do not have the Ags, they do not have the cheese. They did get the Refresher Shard on the Marana, and they got the Aegis on the Underlord. Alright, I guess Underlord... Well, he didn't have buyback for a little bit there, but he does actually have it back up now. Still a 32k net worth lead in favor of Among Us. I think Dota Plus is getting a little lost at this point. Double Laguna Blade on Gabby. Too much lockdown that they didn't give him the Aegis. Oh, Zephyr making the play is just waiting in the tree line there and absolutely nailing him. I think they got the first stun, 2 Lagunas, Burrow Strike. Abed flew in for a little bit of physical damage, but say goodbye. I still don't know if they can really make too much out of this. I think AM's just going to end up respawning. In Your Dream... Okay, he's also having rapier thoughts. The carries are wilding out this game. They really are... For the way that both of these carries have been dying this game, I am not so sure that rapier is the way to go, but who am I to doubt? Could just be the item that they need to, you know, get that kill in the duration of Battle Trance plus BKB. In Your Dream poking at top, but just as quickly they're gonna get sent packing. Armel gonna sit on the front lines, and only 40 seconds to go on the anti-mage. They've got the glyph as well, so they deal with one more wave, and they should kind of be okay. With the arrow. In Your Dream does get slept up, gonna be alright for now. Cuckoo still holding on to the Lincolns. They're gonna force staff Armel forward. Nice stun from Zephyr, hex him up as well. Still has the Aegis, remember, gets force staff sideways by his team. Cuckoo gonna get arrowed. Can they actually get this kill? KP goes walking in. He does have the Yules. Burrow Strike maybe to get out, but there's the pit waiting for him. At least the force staff is gonna save him. Abed is actually the one ratting at bottom all the while and taking out a full lane of racks there. So this Deso plus AC paying off at this point, and we will now, with a 40k lead in favor of Among Us, have what is hopefully a quick pause. Abed gonna be disconnecting as well. All right, I didn't even realize. Minimap awareness 0 for me. I think did they even try and stop him? It seems like Tim's maybe tried to come over, but they just didn't have the resources. They were spread a little bit too thin. And now they've only got this one melee barracks remaining. What do we got? Everybody is so loaded. AM's got 9k gold sitting in his coffers. The hero with the least current gold is Chen, and he's still got 2.3k. So I want my 10 buyback fight, folks. I demand it. Though I don't know, this game might not end like that. Still got a minute and 40 seconds until Cuckoo can get his hands on that cheese plus the eggs. What do they even do with eggs here? Troll's eggs sucks. As we've seen, Battle Trance is a huge liability. Sanking's already got one, Lena's already got one, and Void Spirit's already got one, and I don't think they're going to give it to Bounty Hunters, so maybe you just give it to the Lena or the Void Spirit, and they grab a different item. Abed is also playing bootsless at this point. And we are just waiting on Zephyr to reconnect here. Are we gonna get the Rapier? What do you even get rid of? Do you just ditch Battle Fury and put in Rapier? I'm not certain. I think you still want the status resist combo, so. And is anyone level 30 yet? AM's close. What talents do you still have yet to grab? Some damage, illusion, mana void cooldown. It's kind of whatever, really. But a lot of it going to come down to the initiation and the lockdown, and it does feel like in the last little bit, Among Us have kind of had the edge on that front, you know, picking up stuff like the Hex. I don't think the lockdown situation for TNC has really changed too much since the Abyssal Blade, really. It's about it. The Nullifier, I think, was supposed to help, but we are yet to see the Nullifier. At least from what I've seen, you know, could be wrong. I'm not catching every single thing. At least from what I've seen, I don't really think the Nullifier has done all that much. But we will keep our eyes peeled for it. All right, and we're ready to go. Almighty Dota Plus, what do you say? I think it's still confused. It just doesn't. It's like, but big net worth lead, right? That's how this goes. Oh, we're getting into tier 5 item territory, folks. So that'll be the next big exciting thing. They've opted to give Whitemon the refresher shard. I guess there isn't really anything better to do with it. Maybe you could give it to the ET, but just seems astronomically unlikely that you're going to get a double Earth Splitter on anybody this game. Do they not have a gem? Did they maybe lose their gem somewhere along the way? Because there are quite a few wards out here. At least they've got the Moonlight Shadow and whatnot to kind of help out. But gem status? Gem on March. Is that a TNC gem? It is not. Is there one in the base? There is a gem in the base, so. They could have potentially bought both of these, but it does seem like maybe they got the gem off of TNC. I seem to remember Tim's having one at some point. Might have lost it when he died over here. Abed's got a butterfly on the Void Spirit. Okay. The man is just transitioning into a right-click build in the late game. Sure. I'm down with it. Did they just glyph this wave? Zephyr comes TPing in. Tims doesn't know how to use the leaps to get out, and Zephyr predicts him perfectly. Are we going to get a double Laguna to finish this? Tim still hiding inside the trees. Is not going to get hit by that second stun. The magic lamp helping him for a moment. Tims, you need the jukes. He just jukes straight back into him. He's juked himself. Does manage to avoid the stun. There's no more mana left on this Lina. He's used everything that he has. Tims, they still are hot on his trail. He jukes him this time around. Abed's looking for him, and with that Cuckoo stun and a crit from Abed, that should be the end of that. And unfortunately, Tims is the one hero on the side of TNC that does not have buyback currently. At least it gives some information to Gabby, who will go and push out bottom. He's going to be happy about that, but ooh, the Mirana is instrumental in their ability to kill this Troll Warlords, so We will see. Troll is heading towards the enemy base without his entire team there. They are not aware of this necessarily on TNC, but they're just going on him. Abyssal Blade looking for a little bit of a turnaround. Anti-Mage getting chunked, but Gabby actually able to keep on fighting. They get redirected over onto Armel, who's able to walk away. They've got another heal. Good stun onto Gabby, but Abed already dropping low. In Your Dream doesn't want to keep on fighting. He's already used all of his defensive cooldowns, and they're just kind of leaving Cuckoo for dead. Double Force Staff gets him out of there. Abed just manning up with the butterfly. Gotta be careful though. Gabby might just be looking for a mana void. Doesn't even need it. Just auto attacks him to death. In Your Dream turning around. Is this going to be enough lockdown? They've got one Laguna Blade. Gabby jumps away. Armel looking for the jump out. KP's just punching everybody. Double kill. Jump forward even further for Zephyr. Elder Titan coming in big at the end of this game. Laying down the punches. Doing a whopping amount of damage. Where's your net worth now, Anti-Mage? The Elder Titan has, what, a third of his net worth? And just did more damage than him in that fight. Oh my god. Very awkward from Abed. Jumped in, I think, expecting to be able to get some more auto attacks off. He's already bought back. And these buybacks are definitely getting forced out of them shortly. Well, if that's the result of Tim's feeding, then Tim should definitely feed a little more. TNC now finding their opportunity. And this game could still end with a net worth lead in favor of Among Us. Really. Is Armel buying another Abyssal Blade? He is. Alright, they're just getting this chain locked down. It just doesn't feel like the Troll can kill anybody. The Battle Trance has just ruined him in every fight. He just gets stuck on the Underlord, and then that's the end of it. They were, I think they were quite close to killing Gabby, but couldn't do it. Are they not going to use the buyback? They got Glyph in 10. I think they might just get Megas, though? 25 seconds. Sand King respawning naturally in 20. Abed and Zephyr hanging a long way back. We'll switch it back over to buyback status. Or do we have any other Radiant buybacks in reserve? Not really. It's not like Abed can go in and feed. Troll still got this Rapier queued up, but I don't know if that's going to happen. Roshan potentially respawning in a minute. And TNC hungry here. Just wanting to finish off the Megas. Arrows fishing, no level 25 just yet. They're actually getting a bit of a jump in. Good damage onto the Anti-Mage. Double Laguna Blade. Do they have enough damage to finish him off? Yes, they do. They tried to bail him out, but they couldn't quite manage it. They're going to keep on fighting. This Firestorm actually getting a little dicey for March. Okay, so they managed to kill the enemy carry. I think this game kind of hinges on the Roshan respawn. Both teams are now down to one lane of racks remaining. We do have a ranged racks on the side of Among Us, but whatever. Come on. All right, Rapier number 1. Here we go. This is what we're talking about. It seems like for now it is just like a emergency Rapier. He's going to put it in a little glass case. He's going to stick the hammer on top. And in case of high ground breach and being forced to buy back, I think you smash the glass, you grab that Rapier, and you hope that that's going to be the answer. Are they scouting Roche on Among Us? Ooh, it's 2.5 minutes away. Alright, we don't have to think about Roshan currently. It's just about trying to force out this Anti-Mage buyback, but they have to try and do it without losing the Troll Warlord. No buyback for Zephyr, no buyback for Abed. A little bit short on the money for Cuckoo, actually opting to pick up this full Octarine core. He does have the Sandstorm blind, and maybe that's where this Rapier is incredibly important for the Anti-Mage, because you've got the Whirling Axes, you've got the Butterfly, you've got the Sandstorm blind. It is actually very difficult to just sit and auto attack anybody here.
Rest easy.
Abed picks up a Refresher Orb, I guess, just to get some more Astral Steps. Is the plan to just quad Astral Step? He's going to be level 30 soon as well, so he's going to get that Dissimulate stun anyway. But they do not... Oh, I haven't even checked in on the tier 5 neutral items, folks. Well, we've only got one on the side of TNC. They've got the Seer Stone, which is just on the side of Tim's. And we've already got the full complement on the side of Among Us. So we've got the Ex Machina on the Sand King. Alright, so we've got double Hex there. We've got the Stygian Desolator for the Troll Warlord. Lina has Apex. Oh, okay. Zephyr just needs to stay away from the team. If Zephyr gets mana voided, he is a pretty big liability. Because what a 3k mana pool. He actually has 0 plus damage. He's just only got 241 base damage. Okay. Well, I guess this gives him more mana to just get off this insane like double Laguna that he needs to press every fight. And there is a Trident recipe as well. Okay, so the Trident's gonna be picked up by the Troll instead. So, oh, he actually, wait, did he rebuy phase boots or did he just have them in his backpack the entire time? Ooh, we still got the emergency rapier. In case of emergency, break glass. Among Us, they see Anti-Mage Gabby just sitting here on the wave. All right, he's back to his team. They're not all grouped up. Kind of reconvening now. Do they have their neutral items yet? Come on, guys. Let's get these neutral items going. They've got a ballista. Okay. Unfortunately, they do not have a ranged carry, or that would be a little more useful. Got some woodland striders. Does anyone really want those? They are really not getting very lucky on these neutral items. It needs to be said. I think they would prefer almost literally anything else. Like the mirror shield sounds really good. I guess Book of the Dead may be a little underwhelming, but what are they gonna get for the last one? Oh, they got it. All right, so they got the Apex at least. So. Apex on the Anti-Mage. He's got another 8.5k on top of this rapier. So there you go. Level 30. What other talents does Troll Warlord get? Whatever, bit of damage.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
We have another fully loaded Roshan. Ready and waiting. Oh, Cuckoo in, Cuckoo out. Cuckoo doesn't have Aeon Disc anymore, actually. Ditching that, I suppose, in favor of the Lincoln Sphere. Maybe feeling like it's not so useful against the double nullifier. I have not been keeping close enough tabs on KP, but he's the man of the hour. Look at the item build. He's got the Crystallis picked up. He's got the nullifier. Really looking to see what he can get done in these fights. Whitemon just moving a little bit too far forward. He gets immediately blown up in your dream. Needs to be careful with the positioning. I don't know what Whitemon was doing there. Maybe a little bit of a miss micro or something, but that did not seem like what he was intending to happen there. Got the Echo Stomp Wake damage for KP. In your dream. Spots Armel. Burst Strike. A little bit off the money. Cuckoo gonna force staff forward, but he still ends up getting slapped, and now they've got the arrow to follow it up. Can they save this Troll Warlord? They can't force staff him. He's still gonna survive for now. In your dream, desperately popping everything. Does get the BKB and the ultimate off. Still has the Static in reserve. Armel just gonna get double Laguna down. He couldn't get the jump out. Abed just going through everything. Silence onto Gabby. He's the next big target. If they can bring him down, this is a great way to start this fight, but he gets the blink away. Needs to find an opportunity to heal back up. The Satanic is gonna do it for him. Armel getting locked down. He just fought back and rejoined this fight, but it's immediately to die. KP can't do the damage either. They've got the Hex onto one more. Triple kill. Buyback now for the Anti-Mage. Tim's also going to end up falling. Whitemon is just trying to juke them for dear life. His TP is still on cooldown for 30 seconds, but with that, Among Us may have just done it. Back to a 36k lead. The buyback's coming through. The Roshan is still ready and waiting. Oh, Whitemon, he comes over and he swipes the gem. Did they realize what happened? Oh, is he going to get out of here with this? Oh, they haven't seen him yet. They see him now. They're pinging him. Zephyr wants him. Do they know where he is? Oh, Whitemon, this is very stressful for him. All right, Zephyr couldn't find him. All right. Well, they were trying to pull the same move that Among Us pulled on them earlier, but what? Tim's courier just gonna end up being killed. They put the Deso on the Void Spirit. Troll is just rocking the cheese currently. Wait, where did the Aegis go? Okay, Aegis on the Sand King. Oh, interesting. I mean, Sand King still has buyback though. Ah, well, whatever. I don't know if it's a huge deal. Still 40 seconds to go on the Underlord. This is going to be Megas in a moment. There is still a Glyph. Gabby's pushed up bottom. He's got creeps coming shortly as well, so he's about to start putting some pressure on the enemy base. They do all have TPs available, but this is going to force the hand of Among Us a little bit. as they start going onto the tier 4s. Glyph still in reserve. They really need their Underlord back up, and tough call for Gabby, but he's going to come back and look for the fight. He smashed that glass case, and he's grabbed himself that emergency rapier. He's already used the buyback, so it just has to be the play here. In your dream, they have to hope that they can pop him. Gabby thinking about it, jumps forward. They're going to go for Abed first. He gets the BKB off. Still surviving. Do they have enough damage? One more touch will do it. In your dream hasn't used the ultimate just yet. He's just relying on the BKB for now. They bring down KP. Now he pops the ulti. Tim's leaps away. Instead, he just latches onto Whitemon and brings him down. Too much lockdown for Gabby. He's already used the Manta. Trying to go back in with the Satanic, but the Laguna Blade from Zephyr drops him down, and GG is called. A 70-minute game to start the day here. For the BTS, not for the BTS Pro Series, for the Summit 13 SEA. Absolutely awesome start. It was not the most exciting game to begin with. It was very low kills. We were memeing a little bit about